Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. All right. What are we doing? That's going. That's going, that's going, that's going, that's going, that's going, and this is going down here. Yeah, we are ready to go. Let's get started. All right, so let's go backwards here for a second. We're going to do this. Whoops, not that. Not that. We're going to do this. Come on. Got to do that. That works. Now I got to do this over here. Slide all the way back to the beginning and say hi to everybody. Mario, Mr. Chill Will, Stephen Payne, Rico, what's going on? Eddie Byrne, what's happening? AWCO. Okay. Icebox is in the house. La Mike. And Jonathan Barella, what's happening? Deeds Power Wagon. Deeds Power Wagon. How are you tonight? All right, let's keep on going. G Suave, ¿qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Fascinate me for you. Okay. That's still the guy. Good evening. Jim Fox, what's going on? Jackson, what's happening? Where did Jackson go? I just saw it there a second ago. Jackson Markley. Cool beans. Dog. Top dog, what's happening? I need you to give me some stone. Interesting. We'll have to chat about that one later. Beautiful one. Oh, cool beans. Stefan, how are you? Joe Berman, how are you doing? Jacob Holly, what's going on? David G. What's happening, David G? Sam, do you still like Kohl's? Sam, let's take a look at Kohl's. Matter of fact, that will be the first one of the evening. So, that being said, Sam wants to know if I still like Kohl's. Well, let's take a look at it. First and foremost, before we even start with that, my name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week, using nothing but pre-qualified dividend stocks. And those are companies increase their dividends consistently for more than 2 decades. All right, let's get going. Ooh, that's good. All right, we're going to take a look at Kohl's. We're going to take a deep dive into Kohl's. Kohl's a year ago, wait there. Ooh, I'm missing some of my Kohl's. There we go. All right, so Kohl's a year ago is up almost at 30. Now it's at 847. I don't know. Would you still like it? Well, here's the thing. We've been watching Kohl's for 8, 9, 10 months, almost a whole year, keeping our eye on it. Well, it's dropping. Well, if it's dropping, let's take a look at something most people normally don't look at. Look at finance. Free $600 million. Well, that's a nice number. Total cash per share, I don't know if that's 1.2 or whatever it is. Look at the book value for Kohl's. The book value for Kohl's is $34.25 per share. Well, Nvidia has a book value of like $3.74 per share last time I checked. Okay, what kind of cash flow do they have per share? Revenue per share, $146. Well, that's a nice revenue per share. I don't know where the hell that came from. Ooh, That time of year we start getting a runny nose. All right, anyway. So the per share, $146 per share. Well, did you see the revenue for NVIDIA? Or what's that other one? Palantir? Not as good as these. Anyway, yeah, I still like Kohl's. The numbers, the fundamental numbers. How much money this company still have, how much revenue they have per share. Well, that tells me a lot. All right, let's get out of there. Dividend. Where's dividend? Forward annual dividend, 5.9. Trailing annual dividend yield, 18%. Well, that looks good to me. All right, anyway, let's go back to be. All right, so here we go. $30 down. Now it's at $8.47. What am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for 5 things. Where's the high of the year? Where's the low of the year? Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? And what's the overall movement? Well, we can see the overall movement here. Down, sideways, down, sideways. Okay, well, that's what we're doing now. But what does this thing normally do? Well, look at 90 days first. Yeah. Here's your last 9 days. It's like a stair step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stair step all the way down. Big drop here. Here's your bottom right there, just below $8. Well, we're at $8.47 at the moment. Now, you're going to make most of your money in the stock market buying low and selling high. Well, you can't get much lower than the low of the year. Could it keep going lower? Yeah, it could. But look at the book value. Look at the revenue. Did you have fun? I had a blast. How do you feel about SoFi Technology? Jay's perspective. All right, Jay's perspective. Let's take a look at SoFi. Whoops, wrong one. SOFI. SoFi. Just look at that. Mark price 11 and market cap. Profit margin. Blah. Look at this one. Revenue per share. Where is it? Revenue per share. $2.52. Now, didn't we just finish looking at Kohl's? Didn't we just finish looking at Kohl's? Kohl's has a per share value, revenue per share a hell of a lot better than this. Mark the Realtor. Good evening, good evening. Hold on a second there, Doc. Yes, you had fun. Awesome. Don't touch any stock that don't pay over 5%. Thank you, Sam. Andrea, encouraged. Thank you. Mark, James, most of the puts I sold are down. Should I roll a week or a couple at a time? Okay, Mark, I have no idea. I need to take a look at what we're looking at. I'm going to stop the question for a second. Okay, hold on. Right at the moment, we're going over SoFi. My opinion on SoFi. Well, I don't like the revenue per share. That one's one thing. What's the book value? Interesting. Book value. $5.96. Okay. Well, what do the dividends look like? Now, I like dividends consistently pay, consistently increase. Prices, dividends. That's something that has no sense. Wow, I got sucked into that one, didn't I? No, I'll just give you my honest opinion, what I think about SoFi. Well, the book value is not that great as compared to some of the Kohl's, for instance. Okay, the book value is not that great. The revenue per share is not that good either. Okay, they're even going down a little bit, but they have no dividends. So this is a dividend investing show. Dividend investing for weekly cash flow. They have no dividends at all, so why are we even looking at it? Got some questions on YouTube. Hey, Mikey, what's going on? What are we talking about? Investing in dividend stock for weekly cash flow. Ooh, what the hell happened there? Instagram just went down. Oh, okay. Okay. Having issues. Okay, possibilities. I want to have a sit down with the ghost of your grandmother and get her darkest secrets. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Let's keep on going. What's my Nexus wants to know what my net worth is. I'm kind of curious why that is. Okay, Area 51, ASML, Adir, JEPQ. Hold on a second. So Mark the Realtor, you really want to chat, send me a number and we'll chat and we'll talk about that because I have no idea what they look like. Okay, so I have no idea which ones you sold. What did you sell them at? What time frame were you looking at? You know, all those kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. So I know nothing. Nothing. Okay. Having issues on Instagram. Start Instagram over again. There we go. And there we go. All right, so let's go. Let's do that. Okay, Mark the Realtor, you're up $3,000 for the month. Cool beans. Now, Mark the Realtor, I'm kind of curious. Is it 3,001% of your net worth? 5 cents, 4%, 3%? I have no idea. Because when you punch out a number like that, I'm not quite sure where you're coming from. You know, did you make a 5% return? Did you make a 10% return? Did you make a 50% return? Did you make a 2% return? Okay, you know, just $3,000. I mean, hey, great, wonderful, but I have no idea where you started from. Funk Dr. Spock. Okay. Carlito, ¿qué pasa? I'll lower my cost average by selling calls. That works too, Sam. Austin, what's up, Austin? Oh my goodness, you're actually early tonight. Way to go. We shouldn't look at any stocks that don't pay dividends. Sam, I'm going to agree with you 100%. I don't like stocks that don't pay dividends. Thank you. I appreciate your insight. You're welcome, Jay. Peace, kids. What's happening? Moni. You got the mo. Can you do JEPQ? Oh, dear. You really don't want me to do JEPQ. Dear. Okay, JEPQ. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so this ought to be fun. JEPQ. Whoa. JEPQ. There we go. JEPQ. Here we go. First and foremost, JEPQ is a monthly optionable stock. 17 April, 16 August, 21 November. Now that means I can only trade them once per month. Well, once per month only comes to 12 to 24% per year, and that really doesn't work for me. Okay, I don't like JEPQ because it has monthly options. But there's one more thing I don't like about JEPQ. For JEPQ in 2022. Well, 2022 to 2025 makes it 2.5 years old. Okay, sorry, I don't invest in any company that's not at least 20 years old and 20 consecutive years of profitability. So JEPQ for me, no. But it actually gets worse for you guys who like JEPQ. Let's look at the numbers for a second. Second dividend decreased, which means if the dividend decreases, the profits decrease. Because the dividend is a portion of the profits that the corporation gives back to the investors. That's you and I. So if the profits get lower and lower, why the hell would you want to put your money there? But hold on. It gets worse. It really does. Okay, so 38 to 34, that's backwards. Goes 41 to 55 to 38. That's backwards twice. In less than a year. 68, 55, that's 3 times. 58, 44, that's 5, 4. 43, backwards again. 45. Okay. 48, 6, backwards again, that's 6 times. 37, 37, 45, 42, that's 7 times. 42, 34, that's 8 times. 38, 43, 43, 45, 42, 9 times. 43, 56, 55, 10 times. 49, 11 times. 11. This thing is not even 3 years old, and it pays a monthly dividend. Now, if the dividend goes backwards 11 times out of 2 years, 2.5 years, well, that's almost 50% of the time. Now, when I'm talking about consistency of profitability, the numbers are supposed to get higher and higher and higher and higher. Hold on, I'll show you exactly what it's supposed to. Consistency. Very big, okay? 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 20, 23, 28, 31, 39, 42, 46, 51, 56, 65, 83. Every single one of those got higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. That means every single year they made more money than they did the previous year. So SoFi, no, it's not consistently profitable. JEPQ, same thing, not consistently profitable. Why would you put your money into a company that's not progressing forward? Okay, you make money 1 year or 1 quarter, and then the next you don't. And then the next you do, and then the next you don't. Why would you do that? I mean, seriously, think about it. This is your money you're talking about here. If you're going to put your money into a company, wouldn't it make sense to only invest in companies that are consistently profitable? I mean, the federal government should be ashamed of themselves for stop teaching common sense and logic. Okay? If it's consistently profitable, that's what you should be investing in. If they're not consistently profitable, you know what? Here's the thing. You do you, I'll do me. I'm just showing you what I do. If you agree, great. If you don't, hey, that's fine too. I come from that age where we're relatively very laid back, and we really care what you do. It just has to be left alone and move forward. Okay. So, no, I don't like JEPQ. I invest in every dividend stocks weekly. Cool, Sam. That's great. I think SoFi will get dividend eventually. Yeah, eventually. It's not rocket science. Thank you, Gallants. Some other guy's account. Ooh, back again, huh, dude? I didn't get my Zoom meeting for tomorrow. Yeah, and you won't get it until about midnight because it hasn't been sent out yet. Billy Gotti, Walmart or Target? Ooh. Well, Lisa M, how you doing? Antoine, how's it going? Jamar wants to take a look at Intel. Okay. Jamar, well, let's take a look at Intel real quick. I actually have some INT. First thing, always, always, always. Where's the high? Where's the low? Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? And what is it doing? Okay? Down, sideways, we're at 2271. What do the numbers look like? Well, at 2271, the closest one, looks like they're going to open it up a little lower tomorrow. So the closest one will be 2250. And that will be paying 85 cents a share. Now, 85 cents a share on a $22 stock, that's close to 4%. I like the idea for, because hey, my my goal is 1% a week, because 1% every week comes to over 50% per year. But 4%, hell yeah, I'll take that one if everything looks good, of course. Now, just because the numbers look good, what's the chart telling me? Well, a year ago, Intel at the high of the year at 45.41. She dropped down to a trading range somewhere in the 31 area, sideways, and then the end of July drops from, where is it, 29 area all the way down to, kept on going, down to 18. Well, kept on going, dropping and dropping. So the bottom ended up to be second week of September, around 18, 20, somewhere in that area. Look at the last 90 days, just before Christmas. Okay? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's coming down off of this high here. How far is it going to go before it finds that bottom? So what I'm going to do with Intel, we're going to keep our eye on it up until Wednesday. Because after Wednesday, we'll have to put it up onto next week's list. INTC, Intel for this coming week. Other than that, it's going to be a no. Sorry. So, Billy Gotti wants to take a look at Wally World and Target. All right, Wally World, WMT. Interesting. Okay. First thing I'm looking at. The high, the low, where was it, where is it, what's the motion? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going sideways. 85.15. Well, what does that mean? Well, 85, don't have an 85.50. Uh-oh, market maker's pushing it down. The last trade was 85.15. Current price now, 84.45. I'm kind of interested in taking a look at that, what's going on there. But the 85s are going for $1.25. That's over 1%. So let's take a deeper look into this. And what exactly are we looking at? All right, a year ago, 60 bottoms out in beginning of May, 58.31. Look at the last 90 days. Okay, sideways, up, pulls back. Now it's going sideways again. Okay. The last 30 days. Last 30 days. Here's your top right here at 99. Drops have been going sideways for the past 3 weeks, right in the 85, 86 area. Okay, so what's coming next? Well, what does this normally do this time of year? I don't know about you, but that is a definite upward tick right there. Now, the seasonality chart, for those who don't know what it is, all the way to the left is January 1st, all the way to the right is December 31st. It gives us the whole year, and how does the stock react normally over a 10-year period. So that's taken 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, so on and so forth, for 10 years average movement. So normally, business as usual, Wally World goes up in the first of the second quarter because the first quarter ended tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the last day of the first quarter. And so the second quarter starts this week. So here's the beginning of the second quarter right there. And it's a slow upward tick, upward tilt for Wally World in the fourth quarter. Okay, great. So how do we do that? Well, let's go back to here. Let's get out of there. And let's look at the 85s. All right, for the fun of it, let's do a covered call, because those are the only ones I do. It's a covered call by knowing the stock has a tendency to go up this time of year, and everything is pointing in that direction. Well, great. Why not? Well, the simplest trading strategy is buying the stock, but it's not very profitable until the stock actually moves. So the stock has to go up. Well, how about a trading strategy where the stock doesn't have to move? It's a simple strategy, and it's called a covered call. All right, so I buy the stock at the current price, $18.45. I sell a covered call, which is a call option contract for someone to buy it from me at $85 before the 4th of April, which is Friday. Okay, so the 4 April 25 option is going to expire at 4 p.m. this coming Friday on the 4th. So this is the option I'm looking at just this week. Well, what do I think it's going to do this week? Well, I really don't care. Okay? Hear me out. Hold on. Because if I'm buying at 85, 84.45, and I'm selling somebody the right to buy it from me at 85, I'm going to collect a profit. And that profit's going to be more than 1%. And if I can do more than 1% every single week on a company who I know and who is consistently profitable, well, why not? Now, I have some rules. I'm going to go over that in a couple of seconds. Let's first take a look at the numbers and see what this is going to be. So, the 85 right there. Now, I'm just going to do one contract, get the numbers look like, and you can do it accordingly. If one contract is 1,000, 2 contracts will be 2,000, 5 contracts, 5,000, so on and so forth. So, I'm going to buy just one contract of Walmart, sell an option that's going to expire this Friday, and I'm going to do it at the market as soon as the market opens up. The order is going to look like and sound like. I always encourage people to read it out loud and listen to what you're saying, because by reading it, your eyes can play tricks on you, and most newbies, most people starting out will lose money by hitting the wrong button or reading the sign wrong. Okay, it's very important. You're going to find out. I can tell you till my eyes turn blue, but you are going to find out. You are going to hit the wrong button, and you will lose money, and you will say, damn it, that's such a childish maneuver. But yes, it even happens to us professionals. Okay, I do consider myself as a professional trader only because the IRS says so. If you trade more than X amount per week, you're a professional trader, in their humble opinion. All right. As I was saying, so in this situation, a covered call where you buy the stock and you sell somebody the right to buy it from you at a certain price by a certain date. And that certain price is $85. Well, because I just bought it for $85.45. Now, the certain date is the 4th of April, okay, which is this coming Friday at noon. At the closing bell on Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Okay, so that being said, whoever's going to buy it, do it, don't do it, totally up to you. Let's go through the numbers. Here's what it sounds like. Buy one covered call Walmart, WMT, 100, that is the weekly. 4 April 25, that is this coming Friday. The $85 call option against the Walmart stock at the market to open to open. Now, to open means I'm buying a stock and I'm selling an option. It's 2 orders in one. I'm only paying 1 commission, but it's still 2 orders in one. Now, the nice thing I like about the covered call is the stock doesn't have to do anything and I'm still going to make a profit. Let me show you. Buy one covered call. I just said that one. Okay, here's my break even, 83.16. Break even, anything over 83.16 come Friday afternoon. So Friday afternoon, the closing bell, ding, 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 ding. What is the current price at Walmart come Friday afternoon at 4 p.m.? If it is over 83.16, even by a penny, that's profit. Anything below 83.16, well, that's going to be a loss. Well, where's the stock right now? 85.15. Okay, so I'm buying at 84.45, and my break even is 81.16. So anything above that is going to be a profit. Maximum profit on this trade. Remember what I'm looking for: simple, safe, predictable, and consistent. Okay, simple is the second simplest trading strategy there is. The simplest one is buying or selling. That's the simplest. Okay. Second is a covered call where you buy the stock and you sell it to someone else at a predetermined price at a predetermined date. It's kind of like going to the grocery store and yelling to your neighbor, "Hey, can I pick you up something?" "Okay, I'll get it for you," and then they will pay you when you get back. Basically the same. You're selling something to someone for almost exactly what you paid for, and you get to collect the premium. In this instance, it's $184. $184 is the maximum profit. Okay, cost of trade, including commissions and fees, right there. Let's break out the calculator and show you what the rate of return is for 1 week on Walmart. Calculator. Calculator. Maximum profit 184. Now to find out the rate of return of an investment is you take the profit, $184. You divide it by the cost of the trade, including and fees, 8,316. 8,316 and 66 cents. 2.21% for Walmart for 1 week. Now here's the funny thing about that. Number one, well, Walmart's at $84.45. Okay. Do you like Walmart at $84.45? What does that mean? Well, are you willing to buy it and hold it for the rest of your days? Pass it along to your children and consistently get higher dividends every 90 days and possibly weekly options every single week to the tune of 1%. Or how about this week? 2.2% this week. Well, 2% every week is over 100% per year. And this is an easy trade. You can even do covered calls in your IRA. Perfectly legal. Some things you can't do in an IRA, but a covered call you can. So you get 1 or 2% every week. Well, 1% every week is 50% per year. 2%, that's over 100% per year. 2.2%, that's probably 105% or 110. I don't know, somewhere there. All right, now I'm going to write that one down. Walmart, 2.2%. Okay, Walmart. Now, Billy wants to take a look at Target. So which one's going to be better? Target or Walmart? I'm thinking Target will have a return. Not that I've done it, not that I own any. I've been doing this long enough. I know that Target's premiums are a lot better. All right, hold on. Right there, and let's go. TGT. Target. Here we go. Target, a year ago, a little over 180. Drops sideways, drops again, up, down, where we are right now, 103.44. So the 103s going for 232. Yeah, that's over 2%. Well, let's see what it looks like. All right. Year was a year ago, 182. That was the beginning of April last year. She drops down to a 149 trading range. What is that? 143 to 156. It just traveled like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months before she had down and retraced back down. Wow. Okay, so last 90 days, looking at the same thing. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, sideways. That's what we're doing. Okay, up, down, it's going sideways. Okay, fine. What's the last 30 days? The high of the year right there on the end of January. What was that again? 145.08. Well, look at the last 30 days. Okay, the high drops down to here, back up, back down. I don't know what's going on here. What does Target normally do? Okay, normally this time of year for Target, I don't know, that looked almost as good as Walmart. Okay, here's the little blue dot. That's where we are today. Well, that's actually Friday. Okay, but going to go up a little bit, sideways for a little bit, and then it starts going to go up all the way until looks like the end of April. That's a nice 4-week run to the upside. Not huge, but steady forward, nice upward movement. The 103s. Let's take a look at the 103s. Why not? 103s. Here we go. Just one. And market order. And here's Johnny. All right. Buy one covered call of Target. 100. That's the weekly. For April 25. Well, that means it's going to expire this coming Friday. The 103 call option against Target stock at the market. Two open. Same thing. Okay. Opening the stock. Opening an option order. Break even is 101.23. Well, we're currently sitting at 103.62. Okay. Maximum profit, $176. It's going to cost 10 grand. Well, let's see what that sounds like. Okay. Profit, 176.50 divided by $10,124. 1.7%. So strictly by the numbers, Wally World's better than Target this week. Strictly by the numbers. Let's get out of there. Get out of here. Get out of here. And back to here. All right. Whoops. Bring this thing all the way back here. All right. So what do we have now? Okay. Mr. Gixer, I believe this is Kramer's gay brother here. Cool beans. Wow. Do I really give off that? Is this Anthony? No. Do I really give off that vibe? Oh my goodness. Anyway. All right. So, Johnny Dill, turn on my snow. Do you feel like someone is watching you, copying your every move and analyzing it? Yep. New York City, what's happening? Rough. Dividend stocks are for widows and orphans. Alrighty. I'm not a widow or an orphan, but I appreciate your input. Rough, let us be the widows. Uh-oh, where was I? I missed some. I just told you who it was, not Anthony. Okay. All right, where was I? Yes, it's still late. Cold. Oh, Doc says hi. PLTR popped already for the time being. Alrighty. Thanks for the deep analysis. You're welcome, Sam. Galance, second quarter time. Absolutely. Hey, Galance, what did you do this quarter? I'm kind of curious, Gallant. Trade show 15. Trades above 15. All right, got that one. Doc APP. Thanks. All right, Doc wants to look at APP. What the heck is APP? APP. AppLovin. I'm kind of curious where you got that one, Doc. AP. That don't look good either. Okay. High, low, is, look at this, down, up, now down, 3 days in a row. 1 day to the upside from this bottom here. I don't know. Could be interesting. But I wouldn't do it. I don't know who they are. 257.50s. They're going for. That can't be right. Somebody can somebody else confirm this? That does not look right at all. $257. It should be $3, not $24. Well, $24, that's freaking ridiculous. I don't know, Doc. That number doesn't look right. ASTS. 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 Interesting. Okay, same thing. Down, up, down. Yep, it's coming down, waiting for the bottom on that one, Doc. Sorry. Yes, you had fun. I don't touch anything that don't pay over 5%. Andrea, thank you. James Realtor puts, okay, we already did that one, did that one, did that one. Did that one, did that one, did that one. I think so far we get dividends. Okay, it's not rocket science. I didn't get the Zoom meeting. Yep, you won't get that till earlier. That, turn on snow, blah, blah, blah. Low dividend stock stuff for widows and orphans. Yep, got that one. Rough. Just say you can't afford 100 shares. Oh. Mark the Realtor, 50,000. She made $3,000 off of 50 G's. 3 off of 50. Top of my head. That sounds pretty good. 6%. That's 2% a week, dude. Well, wait a minute. No. You divide that by 4 weeks. 1.5 average week. Pretty good. Good for you. Simone is in the house. All right. Yep. You know me. Mr. Jigsaw, I am down with AAAPP. Okay. You crack trading. Okay, AJ. This person, thoughts on QYLD for the long-term growth, seems to have potential to rebound at 25. Okay, this person, QYLD, apparently you're not really looking at the numbers and you're not looking at how consistently these companies have or have not increased their dividends. All right. Options, Forex, futures. What is the worth? Is the worth my while? I practice on Webull. Benjamin, how are you this evening? Now, Benjamin, you got to find something. By looking at options, Forex, and futures, you're going to spread yourself too thin. You're not going to get good at anything. It's just my humble opinion. What do I know? Never trust anybody on YouTube or TikTok. It's terrible. My haircut doesn't look that great. Anyway, Jay's perspective, tariffs are bad for stocks and dividends. Mimi, how are you today? Okay, Johnny Dill wants to take a look at JP Morgan. JPM. We're going to say no to JP Morgan only because she's setting up a pullback. Okay? Okay, here's your high, here's your bottom. She shot up. That's the profit you're looking to get. 30-day high, 30-day bottom. You're supposed to jump in here and take that for a ride. You're a little bit late to the party for this one. I'm going to say 2 weeks maybe. I'll put JP Morgan 2 weeks from today. JP Morgan, 2 weeks from today. Diva, how are you today? All right, let's keep on going. Mimi, tariffs are bad for stocks. Never know. I didn't get the Sunday's email for the Zoom tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't sent it out yet, dude. I send it out as soon as I'm done here. This person, cool. 75 Corvette, good evening and how are you today? Okay, thanks. Johnny Dill, that's called the bidding on the winner. Okay, Johnny. I'm not quite sure where we are. Sam, the negative about Bix this time is decay. Okay. Flipper McGee. James, as much as I hate Ford products, can we check out Ford? Let's take a look at Ford. Ford's coming down also. The high, the low, the where was it? Where is it? Look at this right here. Now, we talked about this last week. Look at the ride it had. Ford took a ride from here all the way up to here. And last Friday, they made the high. Sorry, last Thursday, they made the high and started profit taking on Thursday and profit taking again on Friday, which means we're not going to see decent numbers forward for another 2 weeks, in my humble opinion, of course. So I'm writing forward down for 2 weeks. Sorry, Flipper. It don't look good for 2 weeks from today. Zonia Bergman, how are you doing today? The negatives are up because same time decay. Okay, got it. Whoops. I gotta get some of these questions. All right. Why did Kohl's cut the dividend? Sam, I don't know why Kohl's cut their dividends. Could have something to do with. Hold on. Something to do with the crappy year they had last year because of the theft. Now, Kohl's is not the only one. Okay, Walgreens was in the same boat. So was Macy's. So with a lot of the small retail stores, people just walked in, cleaned them out, walked out. The last administration did not want to prosecute for theft. Open season. So yeah, a lot of people got hurt last year financially. And we're all paying for it. Amazon didn't turn a profit for 15 years. And they're still not profitable, rough. Okay, Billy, we already did Walmart and TJ Maxx. We already did. Jay's perspective. I appreciate your knowledge and information you are giving us. Thank you, and we're learning a lot. Okay, cool. Nick. Yo, what's up from Korea? Ooh, good evening to you. Namaste. Jay's perspective. Okay. Bobcat Wood Elf. Walmart, because I already got exposure to Target because of SCHD. Yeah, I don't like SCHD. Dude, take a look at the numbers on SCHD. You'll change your mind pretty quick. New to the channel. Edwin, good evening. Nama. Terribly sorry. Konnichiwa? I don't know. Which one is it? Alright. How did you predict that? How did I predict what, Faz? I didn't predict anything. We just look like common sense. The bottom's here. She jumps out 25%. Yeah, there's going to be profit taking. When is it going to be? I don't know. Well, it started on Thursday, and it continued to Friday, and more than likely, it's probably going to continue probably until on 9.4 or 9.2. Probably. Okay, I don't know. It's going to keep dropping until it's done. That's what stocks do. They go up, and then they go down. Well, when are they done? They're done when they're done, you know. It's us, the buyers and the sellers. We're the ones that create the market, and we're the ones that create the highs and the lows. Luigi! Thank you, Luigi. All right. Hey, Target seems to be beaten down. Okay, rough. Intel lost 50% of its value last year. Okay, rough. I understand that. But you're under the impression that I want to hold it for a whole year. No, I don't. I want to hold it 4, 5, 10 days tops. That's it. You jump in, grab your profit, and get the hell out. Because stocks go up, you ride the wave. Once she's done, then you get out. Now, I'm looking at it at Intel just before they have their dividend. Because the stock has a tendency to go up. So I only buy Intel, or I only look at Intel 4 times a year. Okay? So when do they pay their dividend? Okay. Does the stock go up just coming into the dividend? If so, what can I do to capitalize on that to turn a small profit? Now, my profit is very small. Most people would think 1% is horrible. But you know what? I'm okay with it. Because it takes me 5 or 10 minutes to figure it out, and it's not that difficult. So 5 or 10 minutes every day gets me 1% a week. I know it's not huge, but 1% a week is 50% per year. And if I have a $100,000 account, well, 1% a week is over $52,000 for the year. Okay, 100 grand, 1% is 1,000. Okay, 50,000, well, 1% is 500. 10,000, 1% is 100. Whatever, let's keep on going. Faz. So, since it's going to drop, tomorrow we should short it. Foz, I did not say that at all. Profit Tech wants to take a look at Apple. Okay. AAPL. Apple. Sorry, I'm just looking at the numbers. The open interest on the volume of what do you call that? The option volume. Anyway, let's break that trend. So I was looking at the option volume. I'll explain it in a minute. Apple. First thing I always want to look at, every time I look at a chart, I'm always looking for 5 things. And first, I always start with the 1-year chart. I want to get an idea, where's the high of the year, where's the low of the year, where's the momentum going. Lisa M., I know I'm still learning on this journey. Why do people want to short stock? I still don't understand that it seems so negative to me. Well, Lisa, it is negative. It is. I don't short stock also. But listen to the reasoning here for a second, okay? From this bottom here to go up to here took 2.5 months, okay? To go from here to here. But to go from here to here took 2 weeks, okay? It's faster to burn down a building than it is to build one. That's why people short. Because shorting is a lot quicker drop than building. Because building takes time. Shorting can take 2, 3, 4 days. Okay, so people short because it's a quicker move. I don't like them because, like you said, it's a negative, and I don't like negatives. Luigi, I wouldn't mind holding on to Apple. Cool. Well, Luigi, let's take a look at Apple and see what it's telling us. Because every picture tells a story, don't it? Is that Rolling Stone? That was early 70s Stones, right? Who knows when that was? Every picture tells a story, don't it? High and low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the movement. Up, sideways, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. 215.87. Actually, she's coming down. Look at the last trade on Friday. 217.90, almost 219 or 218. But look where it is now. 215.87. So after hours, it's pushing it down a little bit. Looks like market maker's going to push it down. All right, so anyway, 215 is going for 535. The 217's 385. Well, both of those are over 1%. And do you like Apple? Well, doesn't everybody? It's weird. Quickly. Low, high, we've seen this already. Look at the numbers. Okay, a year ago, 170.79. Bottom was the middle of April, 163. Shoots up to the high of the year. The year ends last year on the 26th of December, and that was 260.10. From there, okay, 90 days, okay, high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the movement. Down, up, down, up. Okay, that's easy to see. Well, look what's happening here the last couple of days. Well, that's important because it gives us the idea of the momentum. Where is it going? Okay, so the last days, okay, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, now it's coming back down again. Or is it? Because hypothetically speaking, she should be going up. But 208, 209 to 225, what is that? A $16 move? Is that right? 16? A $16 move. Not even, what was that? 8%? 7%, 8%? That's not that big of a move to have that kind of a pullback. So maybe Monday or Tuesday, this thing will go back up, back following that path. Or is this actually changing here? Don't know. We'll find out Monday, won't we? All right, so that being said, it doesn't look that favorable for today. But look at the seasonality for Apple. The seasonality on Apple is just incredible. It's one of those stocks, just, from January 1st all the way up for the whole year. Nice movement to the upside. Okay, if this is what it normally does, that's going to be a nice ride from the end of March all the way up until the beginning of September before she starts to pull back. No, that's just historical patterns. That's what it normally does, day after day after day, year after year, rate of return. All right, let's get out of there. Who did I just say hi to? Fitzair. What's happening, Fitzair? All right, so let's keep on going. Lazar, I joined your Patreon, but I can't find the EX calendar that comes with a membership. EX calendar. Hold that thought. I will chat with you in the morning about that, unless you want to chat about that tonight after the show. All good, Fitzair? Cool beans. Anna, good evening, and how are you? Stay away from Intel, has huge negative cash flows. Okay. Thank you. Bobcat Wooden Elf. Isn't that because of AI investments? Andy, you work at London Lyondell Basel. I feel like it's a good investment. You actually got to give me, Andy, Zajac, is that right? You got to give me the ticker symbol so I can take a look at it. Okay, because I don't know who that company is. Anna, hi. Already said hi. Billy got that one. Ahmad, thank you. Ozzy, there aren't normal. Yeah, these aren't normal times. You're absolutely right, Ozzy. Stick to your rules. You'll never fail. Absolutely. Thank you, Sam. Mama's in the house. Good evening, Mama, over there. Okay. That's where you struggle. Okay. If stock goes down 1% this week, then it's a loss. Happy person? No, that's not true. Happy person. Okay, you're new here, because I remember a name like that, and I'm good with names. Okay? So, if the stock goes up or down is really irrelevant. What I'm looking for, consistency of profitability. Buying a company that's consistently profitable makes sense to me. Okay, some of the stocks you guys look at or have me look at, I draw a blank because I can't figure out what the hell you people are talking about. Some of you. Some of you, I can't figure out what you're talking about when you actually take a look at some stuff. I'm thinking, why would anybody put their money? But then again, it's not for me to say what you guys do with your money. I just show you what I'm doing with mine. And, it may not be glamorous. It may not, buy me a Lamborghini every single week. But it does take care of all my bills, and I find it to be a very safe trading strategy. Okay, I've been doing it for over 15 years, and it works for me. All right. Sam, sell calls to lower your cost and protect downsides. Thank you, Sam. Melodic Angie, how do you make sure the stock doesn't drop while waiting for a covered call to expire? Unfortunately, Melodic Angie, there's no possible way that anyone can foresee what a stock is going to do. All we can do is just stack the odds and probabilities in our favor. And that's about all we can do. Other than that, there's really not much we can do other than just be okay with the choices we make. Now remember, Angie, never buy something you don't understand. Okay, stocks can fluctuate. You have to be ready for that, because you can buy Apple stock at 216 and it can drop. It can also go up, and it can also go flat and do absolutely nothing. It can, but what is it going to do? Well, we don't know. Okay, all we can do is go with the flow. If they're consistently profitable, if they consistently increase their dividends every year, if the stock consistently increases just before the dividend date, well, certain things happen over and over and over again, and we want to take advantage of that. Well, that's why we're here. Because Apple, they pay a dividend every 90 days. And if the stock goes up every 90 days, even a little bit, well, I want to be able to take advantage of that. Rough, Walmart warned on their last earnings call that 2025 would be challenging. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that means, but okay. Exotic Foods, good evening. Sea Turtle Mining, good evening. What about low PE ratio but high yield stocks? You got to tell me which ones, because you're asking that kind of a question. I'm sure you have a stock or two in mind. Well, let's just blurt it out and take a look at it. All right, Melodic Angie, you can't. Ruff is saying you can't do something, Angie. Well, predict where it's going to go. I think that could be it. Dr. Donk Booty. Is that the OGTOS? Yes, it is. I like OGTOS. Calls or puts? I usually only do calls. Tree boy. Country boy. Okay. Some other guy's account. I didn't get my Sunday Zoom email. Nobody did because they didn't get sent out yet. Rough. Calls are not. I'm. Okay. All right. Thanks, Ruff. World you want to live in, girl. Oh, back again. Thanks for all these valuable lessons. Keto Wiz wants to take a look at Merck. Tango the Sixth. Me waiting for liberals to get mad at another company so you can short the stock. Well, that kind of makes sense if you think about it twisted way, but okay. All right, Keto, Merck, MRK. MRK. All right. Interesting. Here's the high. Here's the low. There's where it was. This is where it is. Look at the motion. Sideways down, sideways down, sideways down, up, down, up. Okay. There it is. It's currently sitting at $89.23. It's got a couple of days to the upside right there. So the $90 purchase price, first thing in the morning, the 90's going for $119. That's over 1%. Everything looks good so far. Let's keep on going. 1 second, Luigi. I'd prefer it stays flat. Me too. Wouldn't I just sell covered calls every week if I had Apple? Yes, you would. Merck had bad news, but I forgot when. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that's going to mean to us, but alrighty then. Alrighty, so we're looking at Merck. Alright. Let's find out. A year ago, we're at 129. The top of the year is 333.31. Then look at the last 90 days. That's the last 3 months. Right? The high, the low, where it was, where it is. Look at the movement. Okay, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going up. She had 3 days to the upside right there. Okay, get the new 30-day high, 30-day bottom. Now she's going up. Almost looks perfect. Almost. Well, let's take a closer look. 30 days ago, okay, 91, shoots up to 97, pulls back to 87. Now you get 1, 2, 3, 3 days to the upside off of this 30-day bottom. Now, you can't really ask for better than that. I mean, I like 2 days to the upside. Well, Wednesday and Thursday. But Friday kicks in with another up day. That's 3 up days in a row. So what does this thing normally do, Mark? Well, let's take a look at the seasonality chart. Now, you can't mistake that for anything else. Look, see the blue line that represents this year. That blue dot, well, that's Friday. Look at that, the red. The red line, okay, January 1st, way over there, December 31st, way over here. The red line represents 10 years worth of data. Well, this is where we are right here. The end of the second quarter, end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, right here, the beginning of April. So let's zoom into this little area. And it looks like it does nothing but go up the whole month of April and halfway May. Where we are right now with Merck. Okay, here's where Merck is right there, bouncing off this bottom here and going up all the way into halfway into May. Well, that gives us a lot to play with. Okay, well, let's go back and take a look at the number. The 90. Covered stock at 90. There it is, right there. At the market, because I want to get to fill thing morning, here's the order right here. I'm writing that one down for tomorrow. All right, let's do this one. Buy one covered call of Merck, MRK 100, that's the weeklies, for April 25, that's this Friday. The $90 call option against the MRK stock at the market to open. Here's my break even, here's my profit, here's what's going to cost. What does that come out to? What does it come out to? 209.50 is the profit on this one contract. 209.50. Whoops. 209.50 divided by 8,791 comes to a grand total of 2.38%. Well, that beats out Walmart. Walmart was only given 2.2. So 2.8 for Merck. Well, that sounds good to me. No, that is not a tip. No, that is not a recommendation. That's just me looking at the numbers and reading them to you. That's all that is. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. And let's go back to here. All right, so that was Merck. That was a good pick. Keto, good pick. I like that one. Mario wants to take a look at General Dynamics. General Dynamics. DG. No. GD. Not DG. GD. Interesting. Okay. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Sideways, up, down, up, 269. I'm not quite sure this is going to be a good pick, only because what the stocks have been doing lately. Okay, here's the last 30 days. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. Now she's coming back down again. But she's still going towards the upside. Could be, if you really like General Dynamics. Okay? $270 is going for $270. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the 270 covered stock at 270. Here we go. One contract at the market. Here's what it's like by one covered call, General Dynamics 100. That's the weekly for April 25. That's this coming Friday. So it's going to expire this Friday regardless. Okay? The 270 call option against General Dynamic at the market to open. Here's my profit, $389. It's costing $26,000. $26,389. 389 divided by 26,611. 1.4%. No, not as good as the other two we were looking at. Month. Good evening there, month. Your world you want to live in, girl. Good. I have Riot at 8. Macy's at 15, Kohl's at 13. Do you go further out for 1% on a longer time horizon? You can if you want. It's always going to be about the numbers. Okay, do they make sense? Is there an opportunity for me to get called away and to lose? Well, I want to make sure I don't have any losses at all. Target has been boycotted aggressively. Yes, they have been, but they're still turning a profit. Weird. They're not being targeted everywhere. Anyway, Marie followed. Thank you, Maria. Marie. Rough. Target is down 23% for the year. Ouch. Yeah, I see that. Walmart is getting boycotted as well. Don't think Costco is. Costco lost 75% of its value in the past year. Okay. Thank you for your insights. You're welcome. EPD. SH wants to take a look at EPD. Name and edit into in Krishna. Okay. Should I wait until Monday morning to order my covered calls, or should I do them Sunday night? Luigi, it's all going to depend on the numbers, and are you okay with it? All right. SH wants to take a look at EPD. Now, didn't we say we don't like EPD a while ago? What was the reasoning for that? Well, let's take a look anyway and see what it says, because I don't remember. Why is it we don't like EPD? EPD. Okay, interesting. It's going to be a no, only because look at where it is. It's at the high. Well, it's close to the high of the 30 days. Keeps going up. Can it continue to go up? Yeah, it can. Oh, 20 to 38. Yeah, 35. 34 is going for 20 to 38. 34.50. These numbers are all messed up. 11 to 16, that's going to be no. 35, that's going to be a no. Yeah. No, the numbers just aren't working for EPD. Sorry. Josh Levy, I dropped out of EPD. I like the dividend and wish I would have stayed in. Okay. Tell me a name of a car to do edit. I am best editor of India. Okay. Hispano Suiza. Okay. Tell me the name of a car. Hispano Suiza. You might have to look that one up. Hispano Suiza. All right, Corvette 1.5. Got it. Apple's up 300% for the year. Okay. Okay, Ruff. Thank you for that. Wizards Chaz. We need a Mara update. Well, let's do a Mara update. M-A-R-A. Mara. Ooh, looks like she's coming down. Look at your last couple of weeks. Okay, down, up, down, up, down. Coming down there, Wizard's Chest. Okay, so sometime this week, I'll be keeping an eye on it, because as soon as it finds a new bottom, turns around. I like to get one of these pops. Look at that. Okay, here's the bottom, pops up. Here's the bottom, pops up. As soon as we find the bottom here, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to put Mara down for this week coming up. It's already written down for this week. So we'll be looking at it. Jay's perspective. What's your thoughts on Microsoft? Ooh, MSFT. Same thing. Okay, bottom fisher. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down. Looking for a new bottom. Once we find the new bottom from Microsoft, might be better. At this moment in time, we're just watching and waiting. MSFT. Jay's perspective. Thank you for that. Flash. How does Hormel look this week? Hormel. Isn't that okay? Hormel's at a high, getting close to the high. See, here's the bottom, top, back down, back up. It's already took off. Friday was a bad day. Okay, here's your top right there at 31. Right now, we're over 30.50. Yeah, it's a little too close. Melatonin, good evening. Don Q-Statin. Okay, what's my thoughts on CMCT? What the heck is CMCT? CMCT. No, that's my take on CMCT. Jersey, what's happening? Colin, good evening. Radio Barry, I want to get 1% train. Where's the ticket booth? Ooh, Joe Berman wants to take a look at Advanced Auto Parts. Advanced Auto Parts. Okay, here's our high, here's our low, here's where it was, here's where, look at this, down, sideways, now we're at 38.95. Okay, the 39s going for 108. Well, that's more than 2.5%. Okay, I can go for 2.5%. Let's take a gander. A year ago was the high of the year, and that was 86.47. Drops down to her first channel, drops her second channel, pops up third. That's 90 days. Last 3 months. Okay, just before Christmas, here we are. Shoots up, pulls back, and shoots up again. Well, it's in an upward trend after the bottom of the year was a couple of weeks ago. Well, you can't get any lower than the bottom of the year. And that was a couple of weeks ago. But now she's going up from the bottom of the... You're going to make most of your money buying low and selling high. You can't get any lower than the low of the year. But do you like Advanced Auto Parts? That's always a good one. Last 30 days. Okay, here's your last 30 days. 30 days ago, 37. Drops to 33, shoots up, and it's just gone sideways for the last 3 weeks with a little bit of a pop on Thursday and Friday. Okay. Josh wants to take a look at EXPI. Josh, I never heard of it before. EXPI. EXPI. Yeah, no. QUBT. QUBT. I'm finding it very strange. Okay? Last year, this thing was like $1. Yeah, I'm very doubtful this thing has 20 years of profitability to it. Yeah. Anytime you see premiums this high, look at the price, $7.95. Okay, the $8 is going for 85 cents. Well, that's 10%. That's not 1%. That's over 10%. Yeah, that number is not realistic. Only because, okay, how old is the stock? How often have they in profit? QUBT. On that, take a look at the gap. Let's go into the gap. Be the #1 store at the Hanover Mall. That was the big thing growing up. The Hanover Mall was like, 40 minutes away. So that was the mall. Okay, looks like she's pulling back though. Okay, the low where was it, where is it? The motion. The high, the low, where was it, where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down. Now she's going back up again, or back down. Yeah, coming back down. Look at this from last 90 days. Okay, the high, the low, where was it? Look at this, coming down. Yeah, so the gap is in a downward trend. Okay, especially here. Okay, down, up, down, up, down. It just doesn't look right. Henny Emile. Who is Marge Rooney protege? Okay. Why is she doing that? I have no idea. Alrighty. I'm looking for questions. Okay, green money. Check out DOMH. Never heard of it. DOMH. Yeah, no. Dawson's Creek, good evening, back again. Pops, how you doing? Felix, many stocks were down Friday. What will you pick Monday morning? Well, preferably not the stocks that were down on Friday. Kind of doesn't make any sense. Felix, how you doing? Ming up. Cool bean. Yeah, baby's here. How you doing? Okay, we already looked at Merck earlier. Okay, Felix, I don't know what we're going to pick on Monday, because we look at that in about another hour. I'll send that out. They don't say namaste in Korea either, huh? All right, well, can't be right all the time. How do you get in the 1% train? Radio Barry, how are you tonight? Best bet for you to do, send me your number. I'll give you a buzz so we can chat. Okay, but best I can do, you know. If you want to talk, we'll chat, all right? Edmir, hola, ¿qué pasa, amigo? They say hola in Korea. Hola. Okay, I'll have to remember that one. What about Caterpillar? Prince. Caterpillar, huh? C-A-T. Say no. Look at the drop it had late. Okay, still dropping. Okay, had a little bit of a trace 2 weeks ago, but 4 days to the downside, still coming down. We'll keep a look at it sometime next week or the week after. Caterpillar should be hitting that bottom soon, so we'll keep our eye on it. So as soon as it hits the bottom, it turns around. That's what I'm looking for. Adir, do I think we're in a recession? No, I do not. I think we're in Randall Ray, Rod Stewart. I'm not quite sure what we're talking about, Rod Stewart, but all right. Trade B, how are you doing? Zafra, how are you? Trade B, I just earned 6,000 plus this morning. Good for you, Randall Ray. Every picture tells a story, don't it? Oh, Rod Stewart, 71. Cool beans. Yeah, you're right. Cintas. IMAS wants to take a look at CTAS. All right. CTAS. Ooh, now that's interesting. Not that I want to jump into it. Let me explain for just a smidge, you know, get a little bit of different perspective on this thing. Here's the high of the year. Here's the low of the year. This is where it was. This is where it is. Look at the movement. Up, down, up, down. Now she went up with a gap up. All right, so we had a gap here, a gap here, a gap here, and a gap here. Okay, this one's to the upside. Now, I like to stay away from this one only because look what it looks like in this chart right here. Okay, here's your 30 days. 30 days ago, we're at 206. Okay, we drop all the way down to 190. Okay, it goes sideways for a week and a half, and then you have this big gap right here, making it. Well, let's take a look at the seasonality. What does this thing normally do? So it looks from where we are here, it's going to go up a little bit and then just sideways for the next 4 weeks, looks like. No big movement based on his story. Lisa, I've been trying to place who you look like, and I think it's Al Pacino. Really? Okay. Not quite sure how to take that one, but thank you. All right, so let's get out of here. Now, can it keep going up? Yeah, it can, but more than likely, there'll probably a little bit more profit taking here before something, before it continues to go up. Maybe. Don't know, but that's what it looks like. All right, Ruff says Apple is down 13% year to date, lagging far the Dow. Okay. Thank you for that, Ruff. Prince, what about McKesson? Oh, McKesson. Well, let's take a look at McKesson. M-A-C-K. No. Magenta. Can you do TD stock? TD. Yeah, but why? Okay, Magenta, 17 April, 16 May, 18 July, 17 October. That's a monthly optional stock, which doesn't work for this particular strategy. So, no to TD. Sorry, dude. Half Sweet wants to know best income dividend stock. Joseph the Trader, good evening, and how are you today? Cato Wiz, with your strategy, what happens if it expires out of the money? Nothing. You collect dividends and you sell another covered call against it. You just keep repeating the process over and over and over again. But always keep an eye on the numbers. Where did you jump in? What option are you selling against it? Is there any risk to losing? That's always a big one for me, because I want no losses at all. Aiden Perry, NBIS. What the heck is NBIS? BIS. Nibids. Nebius Group. Okay. Well, I'm going to say no for now, only because here's the high here, and we're dropping. We haven't found a bottom yet. So this thing's going to keep going down until it's done going down. And that's basically all you can say about it. It's going to keep going down until it's done. Where's that? Well, that's going to be wherever us, the investors, saying, you know what, this is low enough. I think it's going to be a good deal from here on. Well, it's at the low of the year. Okay, but is it the low of the year? Because tomorrow could be lower. And Tuesday could be lower. That's just the way it is. All right, let's keep on going. Radio Barry, a Lambo every week is greedy. Every couple of months would make me happy. Okay, you gotta have to, what do you call that? Have some kind of rules. Hey, Zim is going to be a no. Don't even want to waste my time looking at Zim. Okay, they haven't been around long enough. Extreme Investor, my stocks are skyrocketing. Cool beans. AGNC has a high yield. Yeah, but the options look horrible. Can you do Dow? Mark the Realtor wants to take a look at Dow. D-O-W. Why? This thing looks almost the exact same as the one we looked at. Dropping. I write that one down for next week because we're going to look for the bottom for Dow. Extreme Investor says you, okay. Andrew, has anyone said Dollar Tree? Nope. DLTR. Dollar Tree. Interesting. All right. Well, let's take a gander. Dollar Tree. All righty. A year ago, 140. Drops, gaps down once, gaps down twice, finds a bottom down here, looks like 61. And then she's going sideways for the last, looks like 6 or 8 months. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 months. Sideways for the last 8. All right, so let's take a closer look. The high a year ago, 135.88. Where is the bottom? Right about there, 60.38. Okay, it almost hits here in September, hits again in November, and comes close in March. So that looks like some pretty good support right there. All right, well, last 90 days, okay, just before Christmas, this is what it's done. Sideways, down, now she's shooting up. Okay, Friday is a little bit of a pullback. Well, with Wednesday and Thursday looking that way, of course you're going to have pullback. 30 days. Yeah. Not time to get into Dollar Tree. Okay. 74 drops to 62, shoots up to 78. From 62 to 78, that's a $16 jump from the bottom here to the top there. $16 on a $60 stock. That's over 23%. That's a big jump. Yeah, it's going to be profit taking. Well, look what happened Friday. Profit taking on Friday. More than less, it might be profit taking also for tomorrow. Well, we don't know. How far down is she going to go? Well, she's at 72.75 at the moment. Doesn't look like a time to get in. More looks like a time to keep our eye on it. It's going to take about a week or two for it to come back down before it's back in the buying range again. Lisa, I've been trying to... Okay, yeah, thank you. Please tell IOB shares details. What is IOB? IOB. Yeah, no, nothing there. Okay, so... Steve, hi James. If the stock goes way down after selling calls, would you sell calls below 1%? Yes, I would. Steve, thanks for your time. What do you think about TC? TC, what the heck is TC? Token Cat, yeah, no. How about no? Steve, less than your cost. Okay, Steve, I'm not quite sure what we're talking about. Liz, good afternoon. Alan, hello. Blockchain Bullhorn, back again. Mark is very good. Yep, Prince, I hear ya. Oliver Silva, good evening. Milford Rev Hutzel, good evening there, Milford. Rena McDavid, how are you doing today? Elson Riviera, good evening. Okay. Skater Skills. Cool beans. Any thoughts on Sunoco? S-U-N. Ooh, interesting. My thoughts on Sunoco. She's getting close to the high of the year again. Close. Nice to the upside. However, it's a monthly optional stock. Monthly options, yeah, they don't work for me. Paul, I know you trade Kohl's. They were getting bad press last week. Your thoughts? Okay, Paul, I don't really watch the talking heads on TV. Catch the news in decades. Flag fishing. Flag Smisty, how are you today? Jason, what's up with PPC dividend? PPC dividend. PPC. Who is PPC? Don't care. The reason why? 17 April, 16 May, 20 June. It's not a company that I look at because it just doesn't fit. So I have no idea what's going on with them because they're not on my radar. I look at certain stocks, specifically those that are consistently profitable and have weekly options. I don't do monthly options. I don't care how good the company is. The money just not there for me. It's just not there. So it's like wasting my time looking at something that I'm not even going to trade. What's the name of that software? Lesego Justin Secund. All right. Sorry, I'm not even going to attempt that last name. This is Think or Swim through Charles Schwab. It's you can use it for free. Download it to your computer, use it for a month or so free, and then they're going to ask you to open an account with them. That's about it. FH, we're getting ready for the week. Yes, we are. Tony from Canada, how are you doing? Thank you for that, Tony. Uh-oh. Damn. God, where am I? No, you trade calls, my thoughts. We already did that one. No, we ain't got that one. AEO. Oh, world you want to live in, girl wants to take a look at AEO. AEO, you are the vowels. AEO, you. Okay, anyway, here's AEO. Ooh, kind of weird going down right here. Now, looking at a one-year chart, it should take you 3 to 4 seconds. That's about it. The high, the low, where was it, where is it, what's going on? All right, it's going down, up, down, sideways, down. And what's going on here? Well, that's telling me no for this week because we're going to zoom into it really quickly. Okay? Your 30-day high. Here's your 30-day bottom. Shot back up. Now 4 days to the downside. Basically, we're just waiting for it to find a bottom. So we'll write that one down and we'll keep our eye on it next week. Or this week, I should say. All right, we'll keep our eye on that one. What time do we have? 11. We've got a half hour left to go. All righty. All right, what are we looking at? We getting ready for the week? Yep. Thank you, Tony. How can I invest in SpaceX? You're asking the wrong person. That company's like brand new. Kim wants to take a look at Alibaba. Well, Alibaba into Yahoo Finance. You invest in site. Alibaba. I want to take a look at specifically data. Alibaba has only paid 2 dividends, 2023 and then 1 in 2024. That's it. Only 2. Okay, I consider that as being consistently profitable. Lisa wants to take a look at Home Depot. Well, Home Depot is on my list. Interesting. Home Depot. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, 357. The 357s are going for 575. Well, that works. Alrighty. But what's going on right here? The last 30 days. Well, let's take a gander. Okay, here's the last 30 days. Your 30-day high, 30-day bottom. Now she's going up very slowly. Well, the bottom's 345, 365. That's a $20 increase from here to there. Well, $20 is not even 10%. So I don't see why there was a pullback on Friday. But then again, everything pulled back on Friday. So maybe, just maybe, it will continue to go that upward direction. Now, what does it normally do? Normally, well, we'll look at the seasonality. Kind of choppy if you look at it. Up, down, up, down. Yeah, so there's no real rhyme or reason to it. So it's just kind of choppy. So I don't know. Doesn't make me, doesn't give me the warm fuzzies looking at that. But it's still Home Depot. So do you like Home Depot with 358? It's a very interesting question. Now, I don't buy Home Depot because it's out of my price range. I like to stay 250 and below. Because unfortunately, however much money you think I got, I don't have that much to buy, $350. You have any idea what 1,000 shares at 358 is going to be? Was that 3 mil, something like that? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so let's keep going. That's Home Depot. Bulldog Ellie. Baby Bulldog Ellie. Okay, Spider with all the dips still goes up 9% average over 100 years. Yeah, I get that one. So why not invest SPLX and hold for 20 years? Baby Bulldog Ellie. Okay, see, now, I want you to do me a favor, all right? Now, think about what you just wrote. SPY, with all of the dips, still goes up 9% average over 100 years. Yep, I'm going to agree with you 100%. So, why not invest in SPLX if hold for 20 years? Okay, now, Baby Bulldog Ellie, 9% per year, and you're okay with that. Now, I make 1% a week consistently for the last 15 years. Okay? You want me to take 9% rather than 50%. I'm not quite sure I understand the logic. Okay, baby Bulldog Ellie. Doesn't make any sense to me. SPLX does not give 50% a year. I doubt they even give 20% a year. Ooh, world you want to live in, girl wants to take a look at Micron MU. Now, we haven't done Micron in a while. We did a few times. Oh, look at this. Sorry, kiddo, look. The last 2 weeks, she's going down, looking for a new bottom. Here's the previous bottom at 86. We're currently at 88. So just keep watching and waiting for MU to find its bottom. Okay, I wrote it down. We'll take a look at it next week. All right, Rafael Sanchez. Campbell is not a 1% premium, but has a dividend coming up. Would you include that as part of the 1%? Well, let's take a look at Campbell. CPB. Okay. 39.72. The 40s are going between 30 and 40. Okay. It's almost 1%. We'll take a look at it. Okay, here's the high of the year. Here's the low of the year back in February. There's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Look what it's doing. Up, down, up, down. Now it's going back up again. So it's right now it's around $40. $39.72, right around 40 bucks. So the $40 option is going from 30 cents to 40 cents. So it's almost making that 1%. Almost. But what does Campbell Soup normally do this time of year? Well, that looks pretty damn good, right? Historical performance. Okay, that looks pretty damn good. Now, that's just historical performance. That's not guaranteed. That's just the average movement over the last 10 years. Okay, consistently moving up higher and higher and higher. Well, it kind of makes sense, but is that what it's going to do? It would be great if it does. Let's go back to here. Let's go to here. All right, so a year ago, we're at 44.74. The high of the year didn't come until the middle of September. Now, from the middle of September to, looks like the middle of February is the bottom. Well, look at your last 90 days. Here's the last 90 days. All right, the last 3 months. Okay, over here at 42, drops down to 37, shoots up to 44, pulls back, now she's going back up again. Is she? Is she going back up again? What's the last 30 days? Okay, here's your last 30 days. Shoots up, pulls back, goes back up again. Well, look where your high is, 44. Where are we right now? 39. 39.72. So there's a lot of space here for it to go up. Okay, now we've seen the seasonality, we've seen the chart, we've seen the momentum. So the question comes down to, does it make financial sense? Is it going to give me the 1% I'm looking for? Well, let's find out. Okay, covered call, the 40 right there. One contract at the market. And here it is. By one covered call, CPB 100, that's the weekly, for April 25, that's this coming Friday. The $40 call option against the stock at the market to open. Here's my profit. This is what it's going to cost me. What does that come to? Well, let's find out. Campbell Soup, my profit, 63 bucks. What's it costing me? 3,937. Grand total of 1.6. Well, if you like Campbell Soup, because do you like the company? Do you want to hold on to it? And the dividends coming up, well, that's kind of a cherry on top. Do I count the dividends as part of my 1%? No, that's just extra bonus. Because I'm not looking for the dividend. Because stocks usually go down after the dividend is paid. So they go up in value before the dividend. And then after the dividend, they have a tendency to go down. Tendency. Doesn't mean it's going to. Carlito, do you think XRP will hit 205 late tonight? No idea. It's not my concern because I don't trade that. Okay, user 29, 43, 57, 60, 27, 6, 44, 9, whatever. Anyway, RITM. What the heck is RITM? That went the wrong way. RITM. Rhythm Capital. No. That's quick. Wasn't that quick? No. Hey, take a look at SCHD and Johnson & Johnson. Casino, how are you doing today? Baby Bulldog, uh-oh. SPY with all the dips. Yeah, we look into that. We looked at Kohl's already. SCHD, that ain't happening. Casino, you really got to take a look at those numbers. Let's take a look at Johnson & Johnson, J&J. That's over 100 years old. Interesting. Let's take a look. What do the numbers look like? 163.71 to 163.2. Okay. No, the numbers aren't working. Sorry. The numbers aren't working. Take a look. Because the current price, 164. All right, so the 165 is going for 97. That's not even close. Okay, the 162.50, 227. Well, I'm losing a couple of dollars buying it. Once you take that out, it's not 1% either. So the numbers for Johnson & Johnson are no, because the numbers just don't work. SCHD, apparently you don't look at the numbers when you buy a stock. Because if you take a good look at SCHD, you'll know they don't have 20 years of profitability. And the premiums aren't the dividends aren't consistently increasing, which basically means their profits aren't consistently increasing. All right, let's take a look at some more questions. Okay, Kim Walter, we already looked at Alibaba. They've only paid 2 dividends. 2. Okay, that's not 2 a year. That's not 2 a week. That's 2. That's it. No. J. Can you tall APLD? I have no idea what that means. Can you talk APLD? APLD. Okay, when I say it takes 3 to 4 seconds to look at a chart, look at this. High, low, was, is. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, this thing's in a downturn at the moment. Going to be a no. Okay. Down, sideways, down. Is looking for a new bottom. Okay, so no. TLK. Okay. Young Money, how are you doing today? Terry McCord. RECO. RECO. Yeah, we can't find that symbol. AMZN. Okay. Now, Amazon doesn't have dividends. So without dividends, I can't really tell when is the stock going to move. Because usually, let me see, I haven't showed you this yet. No, anyway, not today. Okay. This here is an EX dividend calendar. It gives me a good idea of when a stock is going to move. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, see the little green dots? The little green dots represents the EX dividend date. Now, the EX dividend date is the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid. Okay, so that being said, if I want to collect the dividend on Walmart, well, it has its dividend right here on the 21st. Okay, so if I want to collect that dividend, I've got to buy it before the 21st. Here's the thing. Okay, with the dividend here, the stock has a tendency to go up in value just before this date. So knowing the date is here on the 21st, well, I want to buy it 2 weeks before on a Monday. So with Walmart on the 21st, I want to buy it on the 3rd or the 4th. Well, that gives me 2 weeks before the dividend. Plenty of time for the stock to go up in value, enough for me to jump in, get my small little bit of a profit, and jump back out again. So the company has to have a dividend that is recordable, that I can see, and then I can test it on how often has that company increased in value just before the EX date. Because the EX date is usually the same time every single quarter. Because most dividend companies pay once every quarter, every 90 days. The stock has a tendency to go up in value. So knowing that, I get to do a trade that makes me 1 to 2% every week, like clockwork. Okay? How to get 10 to 20 checks per month, like clockwork. That was the first book I wrote back 15 years ago, I think it was. You see each one of these companies here, all these little green dots. What do we have here? Tootsie Roll, Dover, Pepsi, Genuine Parts, Lancome, Leggett and Platt, Coca-Cola, Walmart, Nordson, Cisco, Altria, Cincinnati Financial, Nucor, Schlumberger. Companies that have consistently been profitable for a minimum of 5 decades. Each one of these green dots represents a company that has consistently made money and consistently increased its dividends every single year. All right, so it's 20 past 11. We're going to look at the questions, and then we're going to call it a day. Patrick, good evening. Pesa, PLTR, just a little late. We don't know the future, only Wells does. Okay, thank you, Heavenly. Anna, thank you. Dar, good evening. Heavenly GTX, the answer in the future options. Where the whales go, you will know the future. All right, thank you. MK, did you have any positions on Friday that were in the money? If so, which ones? I think it was U.S. Steel. I'm not 100% sure. You didn't think of face creative name. Well, couldn't think of a creative name. Okay, that's interesting. You're glitching. I'm not quite sure what glitching means, but okay. I don't know which stocks I sold on Friday. I don't know. Humble Guy Frank, how are you today? Islamic Reminders, how are you doing today? Nasaf Kawi Prince, okay, thank you. BMH, good evening, and how are you today? The Mortgage Magician, John Keck, why Kohl's is getting killed? Well, that's an interesting question. Don't really know why. I don't even know if they are. Reco, hi. DJ. Comments on Google. Google doesn't have enough dividends. What do I think of FNMA? Fannie Mae? Interesting, Johnny. Not many people ask me about Fannie Mae. Papa Jerry. Good evening. DJ Kafmeka. Okay, interesting. Helen T.S. Morrow. Good morning. Good morning to you. Making a difference. Anything good to watch this week? Ooh, always. You are absolutely genius. Thank you, Stock Learner 4. Dar 7. Where I can learn dividends. Right here. I'm here every night from 9 until 11:30. That's great. I'm glad you like it. BMH. I'm interested and I will love to know more about it. Well, I'm here every night. Rismeal. How about Hormel? We looked at that one early, didn't we? What about DTE? Come back tomorrow night. We'll take a look at it tomorrow night. Comments on leveraged stocks. Ask me tomorrow night. We'll take a look at it tomorrow night. What's my portfolio worth? Yazzie, good evening, and to you too. All right, Michelle W., how are you? One Love, good evening. Sandile, good evening. Money Max, Iron Condor, okay. Lisa, glitchings means you're looking pixelated. Oh, having issues with transmissions, okay. You were glitching, getting pixelated, and looking like a Minecraft character. That could be cool. You never know. Bobby, Holo. I have no idea who Holo is. Okay, but ask me tomorrow night. So I'm here every night from 9 until 11:30. It's 11:22. I answer each and every individual question. So usually at usually at 11:15, I stop looking at stocks and just answer questions. So with a bunch more questions to look at, I'll answer them, and if we have time, we'll take a look at a few more. All right. Music spot. They normally make soup this time of year. Okay. Chris Moneymaker. Kinder Morgan, please. John, Tesla. Tesla does not have any dividends, so Tesla's going to be a no. Mr. Blast, we already looked at Walmart. Okay, so Walmart is going to be no because we already looked at it. Tesla, John, I don't do Tesla only because they don't have any dividends. If you remember when you signed in, it said dividend stock talk, investing in dividends for weekly cash flow. Yeah, Tesla doesn't have dividends. Sweet Dan, good evening. Halogi Masha, good evening. Kakael Harisi, okay. Am427, good evening. Howie Ale, we'll take a look at that tomorrow. Is FFALX good thoughts? Ryan, we'll have to take a look at that one tomorrow. I've never heard of it, and usually if I never heard of it, it's usually going to be a no, because I'm looking for companies that are consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. Now, I've been doing this for a while, so if there's a company that's consistently profitable for more than 2 decades, I pretty much know all of them. And I've never heard of FFALX. Hersey, what is mean? DCA, dollar cost averaging. If you buy a stock at $100 and now it's trading at 90, and you buy some more at 90, well, now your dollar cost average is 95 because you bought some at 100 and you bought some at 90. So halfway in the middle is 95. Holo is a big no. Okay, Lisa, thank you for that. I gotta read these things. Okay. Can you please say the books you wrote again? Oh, hold on a second. The books I wrote. Websites right here. My social media. Okay. 3-step guide to help you out, answers all the questions. YouTube channel, Twitter. Books by James, right there. So let's click on that. That should take me to Amazon, right? We'll read 10 to 20 checks like clockwork. Dividends flow, dividend capturing, the dividend aristocrats, top dividend stock, trading with dividends, retire with $1 million, dividend kings, the personal stock trader profile. I think there's about 14 or 15. You know, funny thing is, book number 14, I finished it last February. I still haven't put it up online yet. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Yeah, we don't need that. Next. All right. Making a difference. Do you have anything on the list to watch this upcoming week? I got MU and AEO, wondering if I missed something. Yeah, I have plenty. Also, I think you'd love the TV show Billions. You know, funny thing is, I watched the first episode of Billions last night. Yeah, it does nothing for me. Okay, now I'm averaging 1% a week. So that would be 52% a year. So you're getting excited about 7%. Me, no. All right, Dawson's Creek. See you tomorrow. Yep, BX. All right, Chandra, good evening. Nicole, how are you? None. Bell Canada is good dividend stock. They are part of the triopoly in Canada. Okay, cool. Thanks, dude. You look tired. Yep, just a little bit. Sufyan Elmer. Hello. Chandra. Just getting started. And it's opened my Fidelity account. What's a good one to start with? Okay, Chandra, when I tell people just getting started, paper trade. Doesn't cost you anything. Okay, it's kind of like Monopoly. You're playing the game just for the sake of learning the rules and learning how to do things. But you're doing it in a safe atmosphere. Paper trading, it's just not real money. But all the numbers are real. See, I got 7 accounts. And the account right here, that's a paper trading account. And this is a real account. So is that one. So I got 7 different accounts and a paper trading account because I consistently paper trade. Because anytime I come up with a cool strategy or something that sounds interesting, well, I want to practice it first before I put real money into it because I don't want to take the risk. I think we are done. That's it. The last of the questions. Oh, and it's 11:29. All right. That being said, you all have a great night, and we will see you again tomorrow. Okay? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 nights a week, 9 p.m. until 11:30. So you guys have a great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And now the end is near, and so I face